Once upon a time, in a world where maps were filled with dragons, Maya loved old things, forgotten objects, quiet corners, and stories left behind. But she never knew that her grandmother's attic was hiding a secret that had been waiting just for her. Beneath an old wooden chest, hidden under years of dust and cobwebs, Maya noticed something heavy, something made of brass, something that did not belong there. It was a compass, but as Maya brushed the dust away, the glass caught the light, shining dark and deep, like a black diamond, alive in her hands. Most compasses point north, but this one did not. The needle spun wildly, then stopped, and pointed upward, toward the sky itself. There was no needle inside the glass. Instead, a tiny blue dragon rested there, glowing softly, breathing, alive. On the back of the compass, carved into the metal itself, were words she had never seen before. A message meant to be read slowly. The path reveals itself, only to those who refuse to be ruled by fear. Maya looked out through the window, and there, beyond the rooftops, the compass pointed toward the Whispering Cliffs, a place where storms gathered, but never truly broke. Maya picked up her bag. Fear still lingered in her chest, but her curiosity was stronger than the fear trying to hold her back. She paused at the doorway, looked back at the home she was leaving behind, then took her first step forward, not knowing where the path would lead, only that she had to begin. The forest grew thicker with every step. Shadows stretched between twisted trees, and the air around Maya whispered softly, unfamiliar, watching, waiting. The moment fear crept into Maya's heart, the compass began to dim, and the tiny dragon inside grew faint, as if courage itself was slipping away. But the moment Maya took a deep breath and stepped forward despite the fear, the compass responded, glowing bright and warm, like gold. The path suddenly ended. Massive rocks blocked the way ahead. On one side, a deep ravine dropped into darkness. On the other, a towering cliff rose straight up, leaving Maya with no easy choice. She began to climb, her hands trembling against the cold stone. And as she moved higher, the compass guided her along a path no map had ever drawn. The wind rose without warning, tearing through the narrow pass. Maya's grip began to slip, and for the first time since she started climbing, the storm pushed back. Inside the compass, the tiny dragon opened its eyes, and without a sound, it released a sudden burst of light. Fierce, bright, alive. At last, Maya pulled herself onto the top, her body shaking with exhaustion, expecting treasure, expecting answers. But instead, she found a small living soul, frightened and alone. Trapped between the cold stones was a real storm whelp, a baby dragon, shivering in pain, one small wing bent and broken, unable to move, unable to fly. Maya gently lifted the tiny dragon, wrapped it in her warm scarf, and felt its small body tremble in her hands, its eyes wide with fear, trusting her anyway. Without warning, lightning split the sky, striking the mountain beside them. The ground trembled violently, and the peak itself began to shake. The compass shifted in her hands, steady, certain, its needle rising past the clouds, pointing to the highest peak of all, the launch point. Below her, the path home was clear, safe, waiting. But above her, the climb meant facing the storm again, and stepping closer to death. The baby dragon let out a weak chirp, lifted its eyes to Maya's face, and in that quiet moment, she understood the truth. Without her, it would never fly. Maya didn't look back. She ran straight into the storm, driving herself upward, toward the highest peak. Her boots slipped against the wet stone, every step fighting the storm, but the compass stayed bright in her hand, guiding her forward. She reached the edge of the world, standing still at the peak, with nothing ahead of her but an endless sea of clouds. The compass glowed brighter, its needle steady, not a direction, but a message. Now was the time. Maya lifted the baby dragon high into the raging wind, her arms shaking, the storm roaring around them, strong enough to carry the child, or tear it from her hands. The tiny dragon spread its wings at last. The wind caught beneath them, and as the compass's light washed over its body, the broken wings slowly healed, strong enough to fly. With one final rush of thunder and wind, the baby dragon spiraled higher and higher, until it disappeared into the clouds. Maya stood there, watching with tears in her eyes. And beyond the clouds, she saw them, countless great dragons, waiting for him. He had never been alone. He was finally going home. The storm had finally passed, and in Maya's hands, the compass no longer burned with urgency. Its light was soft now, steady, peaceful. For the first time, it wasn't pointing anywhere else. It was simply quiet. The needle no longer pointed toward any mountain or any distant place. It turned gently inward, and for the first time, it pointed to Maya herself. Maya finally understood. The compass had never been showing her a path. It had been showing her something far more important, her own strength. Maya placed the compass back into the old box, not because she no longer needed it, but because she finally understood. She was no longer the same girl who had opened it. The true path is not the one the world shows you. It is the one your heart quietly learns to follow. And if you're still searching for your own path, stay with us. There are many more stories waiting.